George Lucas didn't even direct Empire Strikes Back, and he had nothing to do with the success of Star Wars.
Is this going to be a George Lucas attack podcast?
Oh my lord!
He only has.
Whoa! Welcome to Metazoo be with you, America's most Lorcaniest TCG podcast, where we won't discuss Lorcana the night. I am, of course, joined by the man with a goatee I never realized, hometown, home team, Josh.
It's not a goatee.
I am also joined. Last week he stole Josh's information. This week he stole my reps. Louis DeGeorge.
What's up? And we are humbly joined by George, the owner of the world's most floodiest LGS.
Update. We are no longer the floodiest. They came in. I think we got some of it fixed.
Some of it.
We're going to see. It took you 15 tries to get your basement not to flood.
That's fair.
I don't want to hear it from you.
We're not even convinced that the basement's not flooded, but
I'm not either. I'll be honest. I've seen some pictures from you.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome back,
Under the Sea.
Under the Sea. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to
Great Disney IP.
Your favorite Friday morning podcast. We're so glad that you joined us. Thank you for listening, watching, spending time with us. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about Dominaria United pre-release weekend and talking about our thoughts on that. We're going to talk about Legends cards and give you our updated takes on that. We'll see if Josh still has his horrible ones.
Horrible take from Josh. Horrible take from Josh.
Talk about the Charizard Ultimate Premium Collection and what we think stores should be doing with it.
I think we should probably call it the Ultra Premium Collection to start with. That's just my thought.
What did I call it?
Ultimate.
Isn't it Ultimate? Is it Ultra?
I think it's Ultra, isn't it?
I don't know. UPC. And then we're going to talk about Genesis shipping and some things that are going on with that. We're going to talk about Cryptic's Crucible, a new format that's coming out. Sorcery launched a new rulebook 0.6. We've got new TCG prices. We're going to talk about what price we think TCGs should be priced at, and then we're going to talk about what the Flork. So we got a long podcast in order.
If you're still here after Louis gave you the most monotone rendition of the future ever, thank you for sticking around. I promise it will get more exciting now.
Yeah. All right, Dominaria weekend. How was it?
It was very exciting, Louis.
Was it super? Was it wet? It was wet. George's Dominaria weekend was wet.
This is an adult podcast. All of us. It's a very adult podcast.
Wow. His players all got rained on. And do they have boats in your store?
They got boats.
Or was it fixed?
Listen. It only is a problem when the AC is on, and it was a little bit cooler, so it was like not as bad.
Gotcha.
You got us sweaty gamer people in your store, just drenched, just dripping, and we're like, George, please turn on the AC. He turns on the AC, and the sprinklers
it just floods all my players out like a boat.
It's the only shower we've gotten in weeks. It's fine.
All right, so Dominaria weekend. How was it at your store, George?
This set's a banger. This set is a banger. This set is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like. This is one of the better sets we've had. This is better than Kamigawa.
I've been comparing it to War of Spark in terms of like people's interest level of the set.
What do you think, Josh?
Keep the praise coming. This set is so good that it's got stores talking crazy. There are stores in my area talking about bringing back in-person standard play because they just want more excuses to play with these cards. It's got people talking crazy. It's insane.
What do you think about that? Do you think stores should bring back standard?
Listen, I love standard when I had nothing to do but play Magic the Gathering. The forced rotation constantly keeps things moving. It keeps things exciting. I was a really big fan of, or as it was called, Type 2 back then, because I'm literally
you're old.
Literally that old. But now that I've transitioned into the point in my life where I'm about to be a dad, and like you bozos, I got other stuff going on. You just can't keep up with standard anymore. It changes too much. There's too many new cards to buy. There's too much meta shifting. It's nice to have, more eternal formats like, Modern and Pioneer.
Commander.
I think this set will have a lot of Pioneer input.
I have not heard from my players that it's a remarkably powerful set. It's just a remarkably fun set. Do you think that's a fair analysis?
Our resident player, Josh, is that a fair analysis?
Yes, that I think that's pretty accurate. There is some shining stars in the set. Right. There's some cards making waves, even all the way down into modern. But the cool thing about a release like this in Magic's life cycle is there's so many creators and so many players that people are willing to maybe not play the best deck in the format for a couple weeks while they explore playing the new cards. I know there's a Bant company list that plays one of the cards that comes into play. It has a bunch of different modes to choose, so it's just got a lot of versatility, and in something like Modern, it's really powerful. So I agree with that sentiment overall, but man, it just hasn't missed yet. I'm waiting for a miss.
The opening experience is more fun than any Magic set I've ever had. The collector box, it's like one shiny toy after another.
This is just a Josh victory lap. I love this.
Why is this a Josh victory lap?
It's definitely a Josh victory lap.
Why?
Oh my god!
We all said that Dominaria United was going to be a banger.
Mr. Brothers War. Don't open any more of my set. Okay.
Wow. The revisionist history.
I never said that it was the best set of the year. You're right. I said that Brothers War was going to be the best of the year. I did say that. I stand by that.
And you were dissing the Legends cards in the pack?
We'll get to the Legends card because I was 100% right about that. We'll
YouTube
get to
comment section. Clip that video.
We'll get to the Legends.
Louis' revisionist history is appalling on this episode so far.
We'll get to the Legends cards because I was right about the Legends cards. We'll get to that.
What?
We'll get to, but the set is good. I have to hand it. I'll probably be wrong about Brothers War compared to
You're
Dominaria.
Definitely going to be wrong about Brothers War.
We don't know that. We don't know that until we see Brothers War.
I mean this. I think this is. I think World of Spark is probably the next set in the timeline that was as good as this.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing.
So for me, it's not necessarily current players that I am impressed with. It's the players coming back that I'm impressed with.
Yeah, we
had like 4 people at my pre-release that were like, "Oh, I haven't played in 3 years, but this set looks really cool, so I wanted to do pre-release." Like, there's so many people coming, and that's how that's why I started playing Magic again, was because of War of Spark. That's the kind of like the set that got me way back in.
And it's funny because War of the Spark was commander heavy.
Yes, it was legendary creature heavy. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's why your store.
It was Planeswalker heavy.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's Planeswalker heavy.
And Planeswalker's inherently not that great in Commander, actually.
No. Yeah. So I don't think you know.
I'm just.
Well, I had
you're coming to George for Magic knowledge. Unlike unsubscribe, unhit the bell, go find other content. Magic Historian is a great content creator.
It had Finale of Devastation in it, which is like a commander staple in green. So we'll give you that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
We'll give you
that. War of the Spark sold. War of the Spark was one of the best sets we've ever sold.
Well, that was
it was also this magical set that, like, no matter how much they printed, the price never went down. And you would always sell out. It was this magical time in Magic where you're like, oh, yes, I'll take 400 boxes. You get 400 boxes, you sell 400 boxes, and you're like, oh, the price didn't go down at all. I'll take another 400.
Yeah.
I wonder if Dominaria won't be like that, if I'm being honest.
That's how Kamigawa set boxes were. You couldn't keep set boxes, and I mean, for a while, collector boxes, and now whatever's happened to collector boxes, they're like free, but they're cheap.
I think there might be something to that because of the draft experience that Dominaria offers as well is going to keep people buying draft boxes, which is normally one of the products, right? That after you draft a set a couple times, it might sit on the shelf for a little while. Maybe you do it, down the road in the future. But if you're just looking to open packs, you want the set, you want the collector boxes. I've literally had friends get back into playing Magic digitally just so they could draft the set more. Like, they quit playing digital Magic, they quit online, they quit Arena. This set came out, the draft experience is so cool. They're like, you know what? Nah, I'm back in. I want to draft.
Like, this was a home run set, and it's funny because this is like I'm not gonna say they needed that, because they did just have double masters, but like I do think this will take more of the stink off of Commander Legends than double masters did.
That's
Don't
fair.
say
You're gonna be able to get
Masters
this.
to me.
You're gonna be able to get this.
Josh just did 100 pack opening.
I opened 100 Double Master Omega packs. I talked to George about that today. I think my recycling guy thinks I'm running like a racket out of my house.
Isn't that what Walter White did in Breaking Bad? He took the strips off to make meth.
Cut.
Is
Louis,
Josh
can
making
we do
magical
a cut and edit
meth
there?
would sell? Magic meth would sell.
Oh my gosh.
James Garfield, give me a call. I got a new business plan for you.
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't this set predatory? Like, it's predatory. They release something. No, this set, not meth.
Oh, okay.
I'm not here to discuss whether or not meth is predatory. But this set, they release Commander Legends, and it's just a stinker, right? And then they give you a legacy set in Double Masters that's just an absolute bomb. And then they give you Dominaria United, a standard release set that is just ridiculous and will be the set of the year. Like, they got to be doing this on purpose, right? They got to be like, just when you thought you were out, just when you thought you were really mad at Magic and Wizards of the Coast.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't consumers that got burned that bad on Commander Legends. It was stores.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have bags of Commander Legends like you would not believe.
I mean, like, I have bags, and I try to dump as hard as I could. Like, I don't have nearly the bags that I would have had if I hadn't dumped.
I should have listened to you.
I know. You always should. This will go a long way in healing that, I think, because listen, like, we're about to make some money this week. Like, we're about to make some money this week. Like, the margins will be good on this product. It's going to sell well. It's going to do what we need a Magic set to do, especially a standard set. Our draft will be full this weekend. Like, it's going to be good.
And consumers are happy too.
Yeah,
the prices are not outrageous. Like, the secondary market prices are, I mean, currently collector boxes are like $245.
That's great. That's like that is where they should be. That is a healthy price for the consumer. Mm-hmm. Well, as healthy as it can get with our cost.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's a healthy margin for stores. I think that's great.
I think the opening experience is super good. You guys want to move on to Legends? Because I want to talk about the collector pack opening experience too.
I thought the pre-release kits were very good. I want to add that. I thought the pre-release kits this time, they did a good job with all of it. It was a very smooth release, I felt.
Yeah. This was the first time I believed the internet conspiracy theory that the pre-release kits are juiced.
Really?
Oh.
This is the first time I believed it, just from all the messages I was getting and all the kits I was seeing opened. This was the first time in my life where I found myself looking and be like,
our pre-release kits were not juiced at my store. So
that makes sense.
So that follows.
Yeah.
They weren't juiced. They were pretty bad at my store.
Really? We had some good ones.
We did not. I don't buy that. I don't buy that rumor. Listen, I don't
either, but man, there was a lot.
I think that rumor is like so people don't understand like how would they do that? Like, they've got to print all the booster packs and then they seed them. Like, you print, I don't know. Anyway,
that seems obvious. Continue.
I just don't think, how would they change? What are they going to do? Change the algorithm of like the mythics for each range of product?
Yes, that is exactly what they're alleging.
They can't.
I'm glad you stated the allegations so succinctly.
People give Wizards way too much credit. Way too much credit. I
think you can do anything you set your heart to, Wizards. Remember that.
If the Mona Lisa can be stolen, they can seed those packs 100%.
I don't.
If
think
they can reprint Legends boxes to put in these boxes, they can reseed these packs.
There's people pulling packs without rares and 4 uncommons. Like, they don't have what it takes to actually.
Hey, that's where those seeded packs, those bonus cards had to come from somewhere. Sorry, losers.
All right, let's talk about Legends. Let's talk about Legends. Josh, has your opinion changed at all on your Legends take from two?
No.
Let me remind you of what your Legends take was that it doesn't matter if you pull a 30-cent Legends card, it's still going to make boxes skyrocket in price.
I said it's still going to feel insane to open. That is not what I said. It's going to feel great to open, which, again, someone just leaned into the opening.
He was so proud of himself because Chuck took him seriously.
I did. I was defending my honor. This is ridiculous. This is a witch hunt, and I demand restitution. I demand restitution.
He was popping off on it.
I was mad. I thought you were coming after me.
He was popping off.
1 week I don't bring a drink, and I have this with you bozos.
So I opened 2 boxes today, and I didn't get a Legends card, and I still enjoyed the experience. And according to you, that's impossible if you didn't pull a Legends card.
That is exactly what I said. I am glad that you're quoting me correctly. Moving on. No, it's good. You know what? I hope you don't get any more Legends cards.
Oh,
I hope you get no more.
So I was going to open 24 boxes tonight.
Don't put the hex on me, Ricky Bobby.
Should I do it or not?
Because
I'm not sure you should be saying you're going to do that before release week. That's what I'm not sure you should be doing.
You want someone in the
open singles as a store? Yeah, I can pre-sell on TCG Player.
We need you in the comment section because Louis asked us if he should open these boxes, and we gave honest opinions. He didn't like our answer. So go ahead in the comment section, tell him to open more boxes for us.
Yes, tell him on Friday morning, right as the prices are tanking, to open boxes. That is the big brain play.
Good, with no Legends cards in them.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the Legends has been interesting on YouTube. There hasn't been any like massive polls so far. And like this was my point. The odds are too low of pulling an incredible card. The odds are so low of pulling an incredible card.
Okay, let me ask you this, Boo Boo. Do you think the super neon, full blown, full Monty card from Kamigawa,
the neon helps? I think that the 4 of them made the value go up.
You think so? And that card is worth less than the cards you can get from this.
Not on average.
Well, that's correct, but the highest end. The highest end
doesn't matter. My point is that the average of the cards, there's like 415 cards in Legends, and like 30 of them have value.
Do you buy a lottery ticket, Louis, because you can get an average good value, or do you buy a lottery ticket because you can hit a gosh darn home run?
I don't buy lottery tickets.
I don't buy lottery tickets, and I don't think this is considered gambling. Let me put this on the record. Thank you, Josh, for trying to get us all regulated. That is how
my point
we have the world's deadest podcast.
So I think that the Kamigawa collector box
there's equivalency there.
I think that the Kamigawa collector box hype happened for 2 reasons. Number one, the set itself was good. It was a good set, and Dominaria I think has that. Like I think that's going to be a matching thing. The Kamigawa chase in what was the percentage? Anybody remember? I think it was 1% of boxes of packs had one of the 4 neon ink that were a minimum of like $250. The yellow one, actually the yellow one was WPN exclusive. So the blue one was like 400.
Is not worth a ton, which shocks me.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's alpha.
Yeah,
that's alpha. That's great information.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
But so my point is like you have like a 1% chance of hitting like a $350 card or maybe a $1,000 card. That's pretty good. Your average price there is like a $500 card. A 1% chance of hitting a $500 card is fun. It's exciting. For me, a 3% chance of hitting like a range of 30 cents to maybe $3,000, but the average price being like $30 is not that much fun. It's a 3% chance for the Legends packs.
Mm-hmm. I thought
it's 1 in every 3 boxes.
Right.
So 3%.
1 out of 36, right?
Which is
about 3%.
Oh yeah, thank you. So it's like a 3% chance of hitting.
Is it 1 out of every 100 packs for Kamigawa?
So it's just one. They just said 1% of boosters is what they said.
Yeah, they broke it down by the pack when they mentioned it. Yeah.
So here's what you're missing as usual, because you're so focused on the dollars, you don't think about the experience and the people behind those dollars. You're a capitalist pig. I'm going to talk to Jay-Z about what that's similar to a little bit later.
I don't know that reference. Do you know that reference, Josh? He's dating himself again. Jay-Z. How old are you?
You guys don't know who Jay-Z is?
I know who Jay-Z is. I don't know. I can't tell you a Jay-Z song. I can't.
Well, we know what the comment section will be about this week. So that's great. Thank you, Louis.
I didn't like hip hop in the 90s and 2000s. I was too lazy listening to Blink 182 and being edgy.
Walk the Throne is maybe
sense.
one of the best albums, maybe ever.
Yeah,
I remember when that album came out.
I've never heard of that album before in my life.
It's Jay-Z and Kanye.
I don't like Kanye.
What?
Yeah, I don't like Kanye.
What?
Great. Now he's gonna post about us on Instagram because you're out here talking crap.
Yes, get him, Yay! I still love you.
Way to go.
They filed today for a trademark to patent the name or to trademark the name Yeezus for a theme park. If I don't run Kanye's theme park, I have done something terrible in my life. That's all I'm going to tell you.
So I want to see the employee outfit you have to wear when you run Kanye's.
It would be fuego. It would be fuego.
Back to Legends cards. Josh, I will tell you.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's just my point. You're so focused on the dollars. Here's what you miss. The experience and anticipation of opening the packs will make people open more boxes, which will make the boxes more valuable.
This is fair. I agree. And I think
George,
I was
my transcript.
I think I was a
no,
little
did you know what you said? Oh, back in the other day?
I think I was
I agree with you. It's two of us versus the idiot.
Yes, we understand what's going on here.
I think I was probably a little bit wrong. I think that there's a middle ground that's more acceptable, though. I think honestly,
what is in the middle ground?
If Dominaria was not fun to open without the Legends cards, I don't think that what you're saying is true. But Dominaria is fun to open without the Legends cards. I opened 2 boxes today. I didn't hit a Legends card. I still had a blast.
I literally called it the Salt Bay. I said the Legends cards were the sprinkles on top of the ice cream. I did this. I sent you the clip the other day after you were messing with me about this. This is exactly what we said, and it's playing out perfectly. The set is, but you thought they'd release a set with Dominaria in the title, and it wouldn't be good.
I never said that. I just said that I don't think the Legends cards are going to add EV and value to the boxes. That's what I said.
That's not just what you said, just so we're clear.
That's what I said.
You said it would not help people open packs because nobody will want the chance to get a 3-cent card. I believe that's basically
if I said that was wrong. If I said that was wrong. Okay.
Well, let me ask you this. If they had put Legends cards in Commander Legends, which is really what they should have done. Like the fact they didn't do the legendary set is like, WotC, call me. If Ye doesn't call me to hire me, I got you, boo. If they had done the Legend set and put the Legend packs or cards in the Commander Legend packs, do you think it saves that set?
I think it does. I don't think it saves the set, but it definitely makes it far more exciting. Before we get too far down this path, because I can see in Louis' face this is going to be a discussion. I think we all agree they should have put something in the Commander Legends pack.
Oh yeah, like
a valuable card.
We said
like the Dockside Extortionist.
2 cards from Double Masters would have been nobody would have missed it in Double Masters.
They should have put Mothman from Metazoo in those packs, and it would have the EV would have tripled.
All right, we're off the rails now. This is ridiculous.
Okay, so I think that people inherently on release week probably would have opened more boxes if it was in Commander Legends. But inherently people open boxes, and if they don't get value back, they don't want to open more boxes. Like, George, you don't open boxes, so your opinion doesn't
what
you don't listen. You've never experienced this because you've never
opened boxes before. I just don't do it routinely.
He just opens boxes of money that gets shipped to him from his business endeavors.
Like when I'm watching a customer open a box, one of the things they say to me, we scan cards and tell prices, is what's this card worth? What's this card worth? What's this card worth?
Gross.
They care that what they're opening has. This is what we talk about with the new TCGs when we say the boxes have to have inherent value.
They have to have value, but I don't think it has to be as strict as you're making it out to be.
I'm not saying you have to make your money back.
Other than Commander Legends, which was obviously a disaster, you usually lose between 20 to 25% of your money with Magic, and you have a shot at making 40%.
Sure, that's fair.
Very rarely do you get decimated. Very rarely are you down 70% on a collector booster.
This take is great.
Unless you're opening Commander Legends, but yes.
Yeah. Like Commander Legends, I can't save you. I love you, not really, but like I can't save you. But like if you're any other box other than the second Commander Legends, unless you think it's better than the first one for some reason, you're not going to usually get blown out. And that is what Magic gets. You have no problem losing money by taking the risk of opening boxes. It doesn't feel bad to lose a little bit of money. It feels awful to get totally wrecked by a box.
Yes, it does.
Like, this is what all the new TCGs need to keep in mind. If the EV for your box is $20, you need to look in the mirror. And that's true for any box. No customer is going to open a box that has $20 of cards and be like, damn, that was a fun experience. Like, doesn't work.
Pokemon gets close sometimes.
Like Louis playing Wordle, so whenever he's done, he'll come back in and he'll engage.
Yeah, I'm looking up the EV for Baldur's Gate because
it's like $30.
This is my point: is that like, and I agree with you. You don't need to make your money back, but you have to feel like you got. It's like a percentage of fun opening plus.
Yeah, it has to be made up in the diff. Yeah.
Like if a set is inherently, or if you, and like one of the things I think this set really gets good is that the commanders are fun to play, and people want to build a new commander, and you get your foil etched commander. Like I've been hunting for what's the 5-color one? I've been hunting for Joda. I've been hunting for like the full Monty version of Joda because that's what I'm doing on my stream. Hey, Sunday night, everyone at 8:00, we're doing the Commander stream.
You've had enough plugs. You've had enough plugs. You've used it. You've used your plugs. All right, that's enough.
That's fine. Continue. I think there's a percentage of like fun opening experience plus amount of money that you make equals is the set worth it. And to that point, you're right, Josh. It is fun to open the Legends cards. The question is, how much fun is it, and what does that actually add? That's my point.
But the excitement those Legends cards give you, or anything, whether it's any of the chases, the priceless treasures or anything like that, the expeditions, whatever they might be, these chases give this layer of excitement. And not only that, they create this fond feeling about the set, about the product. And what that does is, as time goes on, provided, again, this is all based on the set is relatively stable. It can't be the worst set in history where none of the cards are playable. It's got to be a relatively stable set. But all that does is create this aura around the set where that's now priced into the value. There's a mystique about this set that's priced into the value that goes well beyond the fact that the legend cards you open is 30 cents in value, right? There's so many more things you can do with that.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Like
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I definitely like it.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to be different than Kamigawa, is my opinion.
Yeah, what do you think will be different?
Like Kamigawa was a $300 box. I don't think that's going to happen with this. I don't think that this box is $300 in 4 weeks.
Okay, that's fine.
Like
I thought you meant ever.
No,
and I was
in 5
I was going to lose my mind.
This is a more expensive box than Kamigawa in 5 years.
Why?
Opinion.
Wait, what? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why? That could be
because of the name of the set, Dominaria. It's a better plane. Like I don't know. It's just a better plane. Dominaria has a lot of positive history in the Magic world. Kamigawa does not.
All right, guess we're clear. They never hit $300. They peaked out at 286 for 5 minutes before cratering down over the next 30 days to 208.
So now we're checking actual numbers. Like now's when we're like holding each other accountable.
I have learned
numbers.
from my mistakes, and I will always look at the prices.
Okay. Anyway,
I haven't. I'm shooting from the hip. Let's
286. I think that these will. I don't think these go that direction. In my opinion. Anyway,
You don't think this hits 286?
I don't. Not in the short term.
You wait. Define short term.
Like I think while it's in rotation, it's not going to do that.
Give me 90 days.
You want 90 days. You
Give
think
me
these
90 days.
are...
It has to hit $300 on TCG low, and I'll bet you a collector booster box.
It's gotta hit. Hold on. Does it have to stay there for? Do we have to
hit? A box has to sell at $300.
No. You can't go up there and buy some janky ass.
It has to be TCG low.
George, I am for sale. I will buy the $300 collector.
$235, $301. Oh, Louis, I got you. You can't. When boxes are selling and there's no other listings below 300,
which is what TCG low means. So thank you for explaining that to our viewers. That's great. And do you want to explain TCG mid, or do you think they're going to figure that one out by themselves?
Nobody knows what TCG mid means.
Nobody. It's like I also like why does TCG mid and TCG high exist?
Yeah. My favorite
people win ridiculous bets like this. And they can say, "Look, it's a $300 box."
My favorite
what
is
happens
those
first?
the auction Facebook groups where the people sell their stuff at TCG mid. I'm like, you can just list like a $5,000 version of that $40 card, and it like jacks up the price like 40%. It's crazy.
Makes no sense.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'll take that bet.
The listed median for Kamigawa is still $250 in case anybody's interested.
I'll take that bet. TCG low, if it goes over $300, TCG low in 90 days.
90 days starting at release.
Yeah, starting Friday. I will give you a collector box. If it doesn't peak at $300, then you owe me a collector box of Dominaria.
Bet.
Oh, good thing you clarify. Hold on. You're going to give him a collector box of Dominaria as well, right? You didn't say of Dominaria when you were saying what you were going to give him, and he's going to get Commander Legend showing up at his door. You're going to be like, I told you I'd give you a collector box, George. I'm a man of my word.
That's a good bet.
Commander Legends has no room in my home.
Has this podcast just devolved into us making bets?
I'm not going to blame. I'm just going to say it was never like this before a permanent guest.
That's not true.
We never bet before our permanent guest.
We bet about Monarch and Crucible. What are you talking about?
You did.
Remember, you got hosed.
Guys, this is the dream. If you like, comment, share, subscribe, and watch this podcast, you could one day end up as a permanent guest. I used to watch this show.
Right.
I don't know if it's better
like
being
random. It's not like we just it wasn't a freaking entry contest.
It was. I won the contest.
Let's talk about the Charizard UPC because
you might have lost the contest, Josh. Let me be honest with you.
I can't tell you how many people have asked me if I'm getting these, and I have no clue how many I'm getting. What are you doing your Charizard UPCs, George?
I'll do what I always do. I'll give them to MSRP to people who bought from me before.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, can I start buying from you now? Is that
That's
all right. So the artwork for these things, should I try to pull it up while we're talking?
Of course,
it's not going to happen. The artwork. The artwork.
I'll do this. This is not going to happen. Hey, should I do this? Here's our opinion. Oh, that doesn't matter. This is why you're wrong.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just married twice.
The cards look so good. Cards. Let's see how.
So you sent those in our group chat the other day. And not only the cards look good, but I said the one thing I know to be, the first law of Pokemon and the Pokemon TCG is it's got a Charizard, so it's on fire. This is going to be ridiculous. Like, how does this fail? This can't fail.
Oh, this won't fail.
No.
This will not fail.
It's multiple. Isn't it multiple Charizards?
People are selling them at $400, which is like why we want to talk about this.
Yeah. And people are literally like asking me, can I pre-order them at like $250? Of which
is it a Warhammer Commander deck? Like, what is this?
Of which I'm saying I don't know how many I'm getting, so I can't even do that. It's nuts. So yeah, I can't find the pictures online anyway. So I'm not
doing great.
Sorry. But they look sweet, and there's 3 Charizard cards. Now it's important though. The Celebrations UPCs had gold-plated. like gold-plated cards. They had a gold-plated Charizard in them, and these are not in there. There's no gold-plated cards. They're just regular cards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a whole conversation I heard from somebody. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Gosh, you're so much
Wow.
Hold on. Let me pull up the cards, guys.
I sent them to you guys in the chat. I don't have my phone on my computer. It's a PC.
I haven't.
Wow, Josh, this is really helpful. Thank you, Josh. You're really a great content creator.
I think that the artwork looks super cool too. Like the card.
Oh, Chunky Charizard's my favorite.
Chunky Zard is amazing.
My favorite. This Daddy Zord is the best.
Daddy Zord. So yeah, super cool. This is going to be the hottest Pokemon product of the year.
I see what you did there. That did not go unnoticed.
So I do think like stores should be selling this at MSRP to customers who have been.
Hold on, Boo Boo. This is why I want to talk about this. I think stores have a semi-pass on this. Now, let me be very careful here. 400 is gross. 300 is gross. Is somebody's like, I'm charging 150, 160? I don't go like, oh,
yeah,
gross. I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, I also had to eat a bunch of boxes of that stupid Mewtwo set that nobody bought, and I have literally pallets of still.
Are you talking about Fusion Strike?
If you want Fusion Strike, please buy it from me.
My daughter and I opened a Fusion Strike ETB.
You're the first person to ever open it. How was it?
So yeah, I kind of agree with you. I also like distribution is currently selling the previous UPCs at like a 250% markup than what our cost was. Like they're literally selling them for 3 times MSRP, I think, to stores. So I don't know. I do feel like at some point I'm going to be paying more for these. So what I'm going to do is on release week, anybody locally who wanted one will get one at the MSRP. But then
we know what's going to happen, right? We're going to get a very small allocation the first week from one particular distributor.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, boom, magic. They have more.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How did they find them so fast? They must have bought out a warehouse.
Yeah.
What do you mean my price is 4 times what it was last week?
Yeah. Oh, we bought a store out. What store had 2,000?
What store had enough to handle a freaking warehouse?
Where have I seen this before?
Every game ever made that's hot.
It's just one distributor. So
it's not just one distributor, but that's okay.
The rumor about this is that it's printed twice as heavily as the Celebrations ones.
I will not speculate on this print run. I'm sorry. I have no information about this. But
that's the rumor that I've heard from people.
Listen, Pokemon. Oh my God, when you get banned from Pokemon, you are going to be wrecked. Your daughter's going to get wrecked.
So, no, if you get banned from Pokemon as a content creator, you now have an in. You're the bad boy in the Pokemon community. You wear your backwards hat. You shave your little goatee. You're good to go.
Listen, I could never be Rattle Pokemon. He's too good. He's too good.
Wait, is he banned from Pokemon?
No, but he's like the bad boy. I don't know. I see him as a bad boy.
No, but if you get banned, you're like an actual bad boy.
That's like our number one competitor on Fridays. Is he does like a drinking beer and talking about Pokemon thing on Fridays.
Get this guy out of here.
I love it. I would love Rattle Pokemon. Yeah.
What do you hate about him most?
He'll come on after Logan Paul.
Oh, never mind. Well, come on. Come back on. I'm sorry. I always said you were my best.
Let's have him on and let's all drink beers with him.
I like it. I don't know. George is kind of a lightweight. I've seen George chart twice. I've only been around George 3 times.
That's actually true.
I want to know exactly how many Pokemon boxes there are. So we're doing this.
What do you think it is about you that makes me want to get drunk, Louis? Let's just talk about that.
Anyway, these are going to be hot. They're going to be super cool. Make sure you ask your LGS if you can get
some. Ask your LGS. Talk to them. Don't be a jerk to them.
Yeah.
Especially, listen, here's what you don't have the right to do. You don't have the right to walk into the store for the first time. You've bought every other set you have ever heard of on Amazon or Target and say, hey, man, I heard you're going to get some Charizard UPCs. Apparently, according to Louis, the Ultimate Premium Collection. I would like an Ultimate. And they're going to be like, who the hell are you? Because I can tell you what will happen on release day. I'm going to have a line out my door of bozos I've never heard of before. and I've never seen and have never bought from me before.
Yeah.
And they're going to line up and they're like, how many can I buy? And I'll be like, I don't have any. Because I save them for the customers who have been with me for years.
Yeah.
At least for weeks or months. So if you have bought every single box you ever heard of on Amazon and Target, you better go there and grovel a little bit, baby. So you better grovel.
You've got a few weeks at George's store. Start buying now, and in a month and a half,
you can strike boxes count for twice.
This stuff looks good, though. I'm really excited about it. I like Charizard.
I would not buy this at $400. I think that is stupid. I'm not sure I'd buy this at $300. I'm not sure I'd buy this at $250. I think at if a store were to call me tomorrow and said, "Will you take my allocation at $200?" I'd probably think about that.
Really?
Celebrations,
at $150, I'd take it.
Celebrations Ultra Premium Collections are $370 right now.
I just heard from a reliable source that there's twice as many of these.
3 times.
That is the quoted rumor that I said. Yes, when I said there was a rumor that they are twice as printed. That is correct.
Are you saying that you have a source?
I'm saying that my source, which is Facebook comment section, was talking about.
Is that really your?
It's like a private group of people who.
It's also Louis' comment that he's citing right now as the source. He made the comment.
It's like a private group of people who are.
Hey guys, I'm gonna write this down so I can send it on the podcast
some
later.
Connections. I'm not sure they have connections to Pokemon, but like distributors.
But how would they know this?
Well, distributors.
It's Gavin Berry. There's like 4 times as many.
Sam Black.
Distributors know. Like they
Sam Black. Sam Black into the comment section. I heard this.
Anyway. Well, also Celebrations was like the year anniversary thing. Like it's a little different. Like
I would certainly not be buying this at $400 yet. I would almost certainly not be buying this at $300 yet.
Yeah.
You'll find. I think if you hunt, I think you'll find deals on release week. Yeah. They won't be like deals, but they'll be deals-ish.
Yeah.
Deal adjacent.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Genesis shipping update. Where are we starting?
All right. So I thought they had shipped everything. I'll be honest with you.
They've not shipped to our friends overseas.
First of all, get to the land of freedom. You get your product faster.
You get your
that's
Canadian,
it. That's the entire section.
You get your Canadian poutine product faster.
Yeah, that's true. So they put out a post saying like we're looking for cheaper options to ship internationally. What I think it's happened is that the Canadian dollar just turned against them in a pretty harsh way. The Canadian dollar's in the toilet right now.
They should try using real dollars.
Amen, brother.
Now we're banned from a country. Awesome.
that monopoly money.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm sure it gets you into hockey games, but it doesn't really do a whole lot else.
That is definitely not the country I would be banned from. Let me be very clear. Let
me say this. I think I love Genesis. I love Assad.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's kind of lame. I think this late in the process after Kickstarter to be like, hey, we're looking for a cheaper option of shipping. It's not shipping yet. Like that's the type of stuff that I think needed to be figured out a long time ago. Everyone else has their boxes. You got to pay a little extra money. You lose some money. I lose money all the time when I have to ship overseas when somebody buys stuff on my website.
I've never made $1 in my life. The Louis George story. I make like, $12 an hour.
When somebody orders something on my website from overseas and it costs me $20 more to ship it, I eat that cost. I don't like be like, hey, can you pay more money for shipping? It's a little different.
Here's what I don't get is like, how did we get last call for Genesis and they still haven't shipped it to everybody?
Yeah.
Listen, I think like they're not like, and I want to show them grace because we do love Assad. We do love Genesis. We think it's a great game. But like, and they don't normally do B2C. They don't normally go to consumer. They usually go business to business. And I want to show some grace in that. But I will say that it's been a month now. It's been more than a month now.
Yeah.
these people deserve the boxes. And I hope they ship them fast. I suspect by the time this podcast airs, they will have shipped.
So
if not, that's not great.
You make it really hard to be devil's advocate to anything you're saying because you just use the phrase people deserve their boxes. And now if I speculate or say anything against you, it sounds like I'm saying people don't deserve their boxes, just so you know. Not the
poisoning
case.
The well. It's a fallacy.
Okay, well, you're doing a great job. I'm going to drink it anyway. I think we have to be careful. And this is my expertise as a normal guy, not a business owner. I'm not a fat cat. I don't have stacks on stacks on bags on bags. I'm just a normal person. And when we say every week that we love the slow growth plan for these indie TCGs and their communities, and we love the fact that it's not a cash grab, the boxes have to sell for something that's affordable, we might have to eat some moments like this where they try to save a penny or two. That's what it looks like from the outside in.
So a couple weeks ago, this is where I disagree with you. A couple weeks ago, they sent out a message. It was like, hey, international shipping costs us more than we thought. So we want to do it faster. If you want to pay extra money, we'll ship it faster. And some people were like, I don't want to pay extra money. And now it's another update that's like another delay on it. Listen, I am a huge proponent of if you kickstart something, you should expect tons of delays. That is what I've always said.
That's a great realistic approach. It shouldn't be that way, right? We should kickstart it, expect it to hit the deadline that they set, but that's the realistic take.
I'm still waiting for a board game that I kickstarted 2 years ago.
That doesn't make it okay because somebody stole your money 2 years ago.
They're still developing it. They're
still developing the game for 2 years after they received your money.
It says it right there. Kickstarter is not a pre-order. That's not what it is. Kickstarter it's a different thing. And listen, people are still waiting for metazoo's thing. People are still
me. George is still waiting. I don't care about any of you other people. George is still waiting.
Thing?
The poker stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, people are upset about that. They don't have tracking information. They don't have shipping information. They don't have anything. People are, obviously sorcery is another big Kickstarter that's happening. Nostalgics just shipped this week. There's all sorts of Kickstarter drama. And this is one of those things where I think
save the drama for your llama.
This is one of those things where I just think the way that in my opinion, the way that it's being handled just isn't the right way. To send an email and be like, hey, if you want to pay more money on shipping, you can do it. Like that. I don't know.
I don't like that.
But that's the thing with these new games and new CEOs and new owners. There's going to be missteps like that. And I'm not saying that this is an excusable misstep or this is fine, but this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
I think it's just weird that everybody else has their boxes and 50 to 100 people who are overseas don't have their boxes. That's
that's the thing. What are we arguing over? And I don't know that. And maybe you guys have the awesome sources that do, but is it $250 or is it, $10,000, right? Where are we at on this?
Here's what I think it's fair for Assad to say. I think it's fair to say this was fair to say a couple weeks ago. Hey, the Canadian dollar turned south. I'm looking for cheaper options to get your boxes overseas. And do that. Listen, I think it's time.
They had 666 backers. So what percentage of that is overseas? I don't know, but
yeah,
can't be money.
It can't be more than 50. In my opinion, it can't be more than 50 to 100.
They had 666 backers.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. They should have gotten one more.
Or one less.
Or one more. Give them one more.
One more.
They need the money for shipping the boxes.
I should have seen it coming. Oh.
No, I don't know. It's just a weird thing when everybody else has about. And George, you make a good point. They're doing last call, which is that's also another weird thing.
Did you just order a beverage, George?
No, I asked my wife to refill my coffee cup.
That's you have such a supportive, nice wife.
I do have a supportive, nice wife. You guys should try it.
Oh, my wife's the most supportive.
That's absolutely true.
Make fun of make fun of the lady who's 8 months pregnant. See how that goes for you. Great job. Good take.
To be fair though, my wife has to deal with 2 kids and me, your wife has to deal with you, which is probably
harder.
Infinitely
And
worse.
she's 8 months pregnant. She is carrying around this behemoth of a baby that is completely my fault. Do you think she looks at me very fondly right now?
I don't. I'm not pregnant by you.
Yet.
Listen, like, we're not bashing Genesis. We still love Genesis. We think it's a great game. This will get fixed. It was just a weird update. And we hope they get their boxes fast.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I have a lot of people reaching out to me being like, hey, any update? Do you know anything behind the scenes? Like, a lot of the Genesis overseas community happens to be friends with me. So I'm just trying to advocate for them. So
We're very sorry.
Great. Thank you. Thanks
know
for
that
sharing
you can
your
do better.
advocacy. We appreciate that.
Hang in there.
all right, Cryptic. The Crucible.
No, we're not done yet with Genesis. I had other topics.
Oh my
versus your
gosh.
Floodfest.
All we have is Genesis shipping on the list.
And, then you should have read the full novel I wrote to you, Boo Boo.
You sent me a long text.
Yeah,
and you would not discuss half of them, despite them being very excellent topics.
Most of it was a joke, which makes it hard to
discern
figure out what is real. And when we sit down to talk about things, you just continue to make jokes. And it's about today. George called me. It was like, "Hey, we have to have a real conversation about something." Spoiler alert: it was 6 minutes long. We didn't have any real conversation about anything. He just made jokes the whole time.
Today, George called you and you picked up the phone. Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Hey, Josh, when you called me, did I pick up?
All right.
Oh, you did.
Pump George's event. That's literally what it says. Pump
my event. So, what I actually want to talk about as part of that is I want to give a shout out to them. They've done a great job with the promos for these circuits and for the stores.
Plug.
It's plug.
What's the pen?
Yeah,
that's just something I had in my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like really intricate code I was trying to figure out. We're getting a great promo for my event. It's going to be awesome. I'll be playing in it when I learn the game this week. I'm going to win it.
It's this weekend. You're so bad at plugging things.
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Next weekend is your event. What day?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, you are.
Jeez,
this is pathetic.
Horrible.
This is
calendar.
Oh my gosh, this is pathetic. I can't believe you run us. Oh wait, you don't. Shout out to Tyler who carries that store.
Yeah, let's say, can we get a representative from Compete Sport on the pod?
The 17th.
Oh, my mom's in town that weekend. That's the Mothman Festival. I'm going to the Mothman Festival that day.
Oh, you could have him. You could run that event for Mike. So we have a couple of great promos, and they've done a great job with the promos for the stores.
Yeah,
they have.
Shout out.
And I think like they deserve a lot of credit for doing all they can to entice players to play in the game, to go to their LGS, to support their LGS. They deserve a lot of credit for that. And I just want to give them their props for that, because I know that we got our promos got our promos discussed with us today by Assad, and they look amazing. They sound amazing. And they will only be available at my event. So come to my event and go win a promo. And if you beat me, I will give you a free Origins pack. Spoiler, you will likely beat me.
He doesn't know how to play. I've always
also
said
need to build a deck.
And if you let him beat you, he'll give you 2 Origins packs.
I'm a patron, and because I own an LGS, I have there's an option to have your patron pack shipped to your LGS,
which I love.
And if you do that, you get an extra promo card.
Yep.
And that's super cool. Because think about if your LGS doesn't carry Genesis, and you're like, oh no, come on, I want you to carry Genesis, and they're like, no, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna have something shipped to you so I get an extra promo card, and then all of a sudden your store has a connection to Genesis. That's kind of cool. So
Genesis, more than any other game, supports the LGS.
Yeah.
Yes.
No game.
They go out of their way to do that.
Yes.
No game is close. I think they should add playmats in the future. I think they will. But no game currently on the market supports LGS the way Genesis does.
Percentage to percentage. I mean, like, you can't really say that because, like, you make way more money off of Magic the Gathering than you do off of Genesis because you.
I was about to say Wizards of the Coast is just in the corner saying we support game stores all over this country.
But your percentage to percentage of like energy that they put into the LGS is infinitely more. I agree with that statement. You tend to talk in things that are a little exaggeratory.
Only a Sith speaks in absolutes, George.
Have we ever talked about the Empire being the good guys in Star Wars? Have we gone down that road?
I think there's a storyline in Lorcana.
That's good. Listen,
Jar Jar was a Sith Lord, and don't anybody at me.
Yeah, they totally could have gone that way, and they didn't, and that was one of my biggest frustrations in the newest.
Jar Jar should have absolutely been a Sith. He was meant to be, and we all know it.
Yep, I agree.
George Lucas is coming on next week to discuss Lorcana and Jar Jar.
Okay. I don't think I want George Lucas on the podcast, to be honest.
What?
I have very little respect to what he did with Star Wars. He kind of ruined the whole thing.
Bro, get over it.
What?
Yeah.
Get over
what?
All right, let's talk about Cryptic.
No. You have to defend that statement.
He ruined it.
How did he ruin it?
Who's the other guy that wrote Empire Strikes Back? The guy who wrote that one, Lawrence Kasdan and Leigh Brackett. They are the true heroes of Star Wars.
Empire Strikes Back, maybe the best Star Wars movie.
Empire Strikes Back is 100% the best Star Wars movie.
Return's pretty good.
No, well, it's got Return is good, but it's way better because of the Ewoks. It's cute. It's got the cute factor.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's better because of a part of the movie, which makes it good.
I'm just saying.
I don't know what is. It's better. It's better, except part of the movie is better, so it doesn't count as being better.
Anyway, George Lucas didn't even direct Empire Strikes Back, and he had nothing to do with the success of Star Wars.
Is this going to be a George Lucas attack podcast?
Oh my lord!
He only had to do with the demise of it.
This is the boldest move you've ever made on the internet. Right here. This is print run numbers be darned. This is the boldest move you've ever made on the internet. It just happened.
Nothing else is close.
No.
He's the worst. He ruined it. Tell me he didn't ruin it.
He did not ruin it.
Okay, good.
You're wrong.
Good. Glad we figured it out.
You're wrong.
There is another company that might currently own Star Wars that I don't want to mention.
No, the new movies were not nearly
Number
as bad.
9 is the worst movie I think I've ever seen of anything. Number 9
7 was pretty horrible.
7 was great.
No, 7 was only great to boomers who had like the nostalgia of past movies.
Yeah.
As a movie on its own, it was kind of horrible.
Are you one of those people that went to the newest Star Wars movies and sat there like a film critic instead of just getting buttery popcorn and a soda and enjoying yourself? Because that's what it sounds like you are.
Much worse than that. I was one of the people that was I would go to the 7:00 showing. So
me too. Yes,
the 7:00 showing, the 9:15 showing, and the 11:45 showing. I would watch all 3 times. I would love it. Me and my buddy Lucas would go. Ironically, me and my buddy Lucas would go,
Robbie.
And then we would go get. I didn't know Robbie. He was just anyway. We'd go get McDonald's afterwards, and we loved it. We would absolutely love the movie that day, and then we'd go like 8 more times. We'd see it like 8 more times, and the more you see it, the worse it gets.
7 is amazing. I don't remember the last. I like movies. I don't remember the last movie I watched and was like, "Oh, that was bad." 9, I left and was like, "Oh my god, that was awful." I'm never going to see this again.
Will Smith and Margot Robbie, where they're like con artists. It's from like 7 years ago. It's the only movie I've ever walked out of. I was in Arizona. I was in a theater. It's the only movie.
While we're on the topic, have you guys seen Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
That is one of the best movies ever made.
It is. Anyway, back to the Empire being the good guys. I don't
know if they really were the good guys, if I'm being honest with you.
The Empire was the good guys. Everyone gets.
Are we going to call the segment Lorcana?
No. All right. Let's talk about.
We have just talked about Disney IP for the past 10 minutes.
Let's talk about Cryptic.
I got some scoopies.
All right. So they have a new format.
That's not the Scoopy. You want the Scoopy first? Or you want to go to the new format first?
Give me the Scoopy.
All right. So first, let me plug his event because I plugged my event. On September 24th, if you don't know what to do and you have nothing else to do on September 24th, and you're looking for a great game to play, Cryptic is hosting a new tournament on TTS. There's no cap and amazing prizes. And that is going to be, you can go to discord.gg/CrypticTCG. That was like a commercial. You're welcome, Tanner. The other thing is that the cards are printed and cut for the booster boxes. Printer is now printing the packages, and he has a picture of the decks on his Discord. So games that have kickstarted more, pretty recently, they have the cards printed, they have the decks ready to go, and they are printed, cut, ready for action.
I love that George's Scoopy is just like the Kickstarter update from today, and he thinks it's a Scoopy.
Damn it! Was that on there?
Yes.
A source told me this. That source was Tanner.
It's the Discord post.
Good Scoopy.
The source is the same Discord post.
No, yeah, it's super good. They were, I mean, from day one when I talked to Tanner after we did like a little interview, and I was like, so are you real confident in your like print run? He's like, yeah, we already have the printer scheduled. Like it's gonna happen.
Tanner freaking gets it.
Yeah. Really cool stuff. The TDS event sold out last time pretty quick. I think it was free, but it like the slots.
Is this one not free?
That's cap.
No, I think they're all free. But my point was like
all be free.
The phrase "sold out" implies that it was not free, but it's free.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah,
he's like, listen, man. He is working hard to get players.
And we are going to have booster decks available at probably a subscription model on my website.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
We're doing it together though, right?
I don't know. We'll see.
I talked to Tanner about this already. We're doing it. He has a promo for us.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I want to include you with it or not.
Tanner, if he's out, I want to buy them all.
No, we're gonna have a promo and some sort of subscription model where you can get booster decks like delivered every month. Those booster deck things are sweet. I was all for them. Yeah.
So can you put the picture of the Cryptic deck on the thing? Why not?
It's impossible. It's not possible. I don't have that kind of Scoopy.
George, you're gonna do the Josh method. It's pretty good method. It's pretty good method. Oh man, that phone looks not very nice.
You should try getting an iPhone.
Yeah, the phone doesn't look very nice.
I'm waiting for the iPhone 24. So the back of these cards, the whole thing looks awesome. The back of the cards look great. They look really great. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my PSA return on Cryptic. I have like 20 cards in at PSA right now.
That's weird. I'm excited to feel the cards.
I'm glad.
Oh, you guys haven't. I don't want to felt the cards yet.
No, one of the big things, my first introductory to any new TCG, everyone always talks about like the power level, the coloring, the pack. The thing for me as someone who plays all these TCGs that I own pretty avidly is how they feel in my hand. Like, what does the card stock feel like? That carries so much weight to me, and I don't know why. I'm sure that I'm wrong.
Have you held you've held a Genesis card, one of the new ones, one of the Origins cards?
Oh my goodness, where is it? I have one around here somewhere that I can throw in your face.
You got it for free from Genesis.
Yeah, nice. It's signed too. I just want to point out.
They don't feel like those, George.
Shut up.
They should. The new ones.
Oh, nobody has the new ones. The old ones don't. Like the Riddle 66 pack ones.
Really?
They don't feel like that.
Oh, this says pre-release promo J2. That's what it says on it.
Yeah, the
am I not supposed to show this to the camera?
The test pack and Riddle 66 pack cards don't feel like Genesis cards.
What do they feel like?
They feel like Cryptic cards. It's weird.
But that's I want to know is that a bigger deal? And maybe instead of asking you, I should ask the comment section. Is that a bigger deal to anyone else? Because it's a huge deal for me when I pick up a TCG for the first time and the cards don't feel right. It turns me off.
I don't like cards that are like thin. Yeah. I definitely don't like it when they feel cheap because like I inherently want cards to have value. That's like
it's got to have real weight to it. It's got to carry. It's got to have a feel.
What game was it that I opened the other day? There's some super indie TCG that got sent, and the cards are like on like a plastic.
You don't have to add super to that. You can just it's an indie TCG.
No, this is like one of those.
There's not
Instagram
super
ones.
indie TCG. This is a rabbit hole. There's going to be ultra indie TCGs.
Ultimate.
Did you open Dream Book?
No. God, no.
You can tell me. Look in my eyes and tell me.
I honestly don't even remember. It's over there. It's one of the ones over.
Josh,
Anyway, it was like
got
it was
your
real
book?
plasticky. And I loved that. I was like, this is
I'm
cool.
not telling you anything, George.
Oh my God, is Josh opening Dream Book on the podcast?
No.
I'm in.
All right. What's the new format though? The Crucible.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a 4-player format. Let me pull it up here.
Is this on
he's
Discord?
texting me. It's a Scoopy. You simmer down.
I'm sure it's like the Discord announcement from 3 days ago.
Yeah, it'll be a Discord announcement by the time this airs. It's going to be a quadruple down on play, including our casual 4-play format. It's his answer for Commander. It's his answer.
Boom! Good move.
Look,
Yeah.
Great move. Again, man, he gets it. Nothing else to say. The dude
Power
gets
move.
it.
We'll do
And
we'll do a live stream. I'll do a live stream and play Crucible at some point to see if it's
that's
fun.
not going to help him that much. The other
I'm not
thing,
trying to help them. I want to see if it's fun.
that's great. So the other thing that I will add is that there's going to be a learn to play video on the website on Friday for Crucible.
Oh, cool.
Which I love. That is how I learn to play games, by watching great videos. DM Armada does a couple of good ones. Red Zone Rogue does some great ones.
Oh my God.
They do the very
up.
best videos of how to learn to play, and I watch them to learn.
Yeah. Great.
This is so much more fun with 2 content creators saying that. I want you all both to know that.
Yeah. That's great. Thanks, man. You're a great person.
I'm so happy right now. Look at their faces.
I'm still a content
I'm so
creator,
happy
George.
right now.
I have nothing to say to you.
Hanging on by
I'm
a
so
thread.
happy right
Why
now.
why do we give this guy why do I give this guy a platform to spew his
Look at
thoughts?
their faces.
Well,
They're
let's get one
You're
thing
right.
straight. I've been on Kitchen Table TCG almost as much as you at this point. So I think why do we give this guy a platform?
He's
Me?
talking about you, not me.
You've been wow. I'm getting roasted. Roasted. Let me just say, I think Red Zone Rogue and DM Armada are fantastic content creators, and I agree with you.
I do as well.
Yeah.
Great.
And remember to
I
pay
think
attention to the people
of-
around you.
said that.
Of the 5 content creators between the 3 of us and those 2, I think you're the worst, George.
No,
Facts.
nobody else does, so it's fine.
Facts.
Thanks. All right. Moving on from insulting each other. 4-player
I
modes
think
are
the
great.
4-player format is super smart.
I
The
think
4-player format, super
Yeah.
smart.
I agree.
100%.
Those 4, like, it's not enough to just have a 4-player format, though. They have to be fun, and that'll
Yes.
be the question. I've played 4-player formats for other games that weren't fun. Like that's the truth. Like it has to be an enjoyable experience.
It does
We'll
have
see.
to be fun, but it's the way these games are going to thrive, right? These games are not going to thrive, being the next competitive card game or taking the space of one of the big 3 or something. They're going to thrive as a way that people spend their limited free time in a way that they really enjoy. And the more people you can have doing that at once, the better.
I had a blast playing.
That's
Genesis.
not what So I agree with you, but here's what this tells me. Tanner gets that you're going to grow this game through casual play.
Well, and Tanner's not going to put out something that's not good. Like
Also,
we
water
know
wet,
that. We
sky
know
blue.
that from Tanner.
Like,
What did you say, Josh?
that's the water wet, sky blue. The best way to grow a game of this side is through casual play. If you dig all in at hardcore when you're still at this size, you're going to alienate most of your players.
I don't think there's any size in which it makes sense to go for hardcore competitive play. There's no size.
I agree with you. I literally pivoted my channel from hardcore competitive play to more casual every person content because I believe that's where success lies. That's where
His
views lie. That's where
went
it is.
through the roof.
Is that true?
I don't know.
They went up. They went up. They didn't go through the roof. They went up. None of my views are through the roof. Okay, let me jump on that joke before either of you get a chance to dogpile on. None of my views are through the roof.
Earthly idea how many views you have. You could be the next Logan Paul in my eyes.
Because you are a wonderful, supportive friend who clicks on my videos, even though you ask me to click on this one every week.
He never watches
it.
any videos.
I only watch StarCraft 2 videos.
All right. Moving on. Sorcery
I'm gonna title the video
0.6.
StarCraft 2.
Sorcery just launched a massive update with new print and play files.
It's too many massives.
Massive.
Too many massives.
New print and play files, a new rulebook version 0.6. What else? New TTS mod. Their partner websites are updated with all the new card images, the beta card images, and then they launched a 300-person testing team with all that stuff. Of which I am one of the 300 people. So hopefully the other 299 are better TCG players. What? What are you upset about, Josh?
Listen, bringing you on as a content creator, as a person to talk about the game, as a person to be a positive influence is fantastic. As a tester for sorcery, what are we doing?
Wow, this is mean.
What?
I'm great. Hey, you've got to have a bottom floor, man. You got to know that your game is accessible to anybody. This is not
a knock on you. I said like 9 good things in there, and you focused on the one bad.
Yeah, that's welcome to my life. You got to know that you can reach the bottom of the pit. That's important. That's important. Someone's got to be the bottom. That's me.
That being
anyway.
said, that's cool. The 300-person testing pool for something like this, just kind of an open group of testers, letting the community kind of work through this and making them be involved. I think that's a move. That's really cool. It brings a core group of people that much closer to the game. It makes you feel more involved. I like that. I think passionate about it.
I think that's something that I would like to see continue in sorcery. It's already happening. Like I know Cryptic does this. I would like to see it continue in sorcery and all these other new TCGs too, where they utilize their community to make the game as good as possible instead of hiding things and like surprising, like allowing the community to have input. I think goes a long way. I understand the other side of it, but I think it'll work out better for the smaller TCGs by opening it up.
If you're not focused on competitive play, what does it matter? 300 people technically have a competitive edge, but that's not your focus. So who cares?
Right. So super cool. Lots of things happening. Obviously, the flip side of that has been the critical side. George, you want to go ahead and say the flip side that's been the critical? You've been awfully quiet here.
I'm just drinking my coffee. It's very good.
Go ahead. Get into your takes.
I have no takes. I'm very excited. That's a big step forward. 0.6 rulebook, new print and play files. We're on track, baby.
That I'm out on. See, you got me with the 300 players of testing, and then if I want to test it, I got to print my own cards. You lost 4 plan tabletop later.
You can do TTS.
I could get down with some TTS. I'm not printing my own cards. Not a chance.
You can test with me on TTS if you want.
I'm not one of the 300 testers. Sorry.
I'll give you my credentials. We can test together.
Do you hear this, sorcery?
I mean, like, I want to play the game.
We're both going to get banned from sorcery now.
301 testers. Great.
I think it's just like it's people that can weigh in. Like if it was print and play, I could certainly play a game with my wife, couldn't I? I'm not worried about that.
No, I challenge you to make that happen.
My wife will not play with me.
I don't think you could play a game with your wife.
I'm gonna hold you up to that. You want to make a bet on this? We bet on everything else. If I can get my wife to play a game,
you're just going to tell her it's a bet, and then she's going to be like, "Well, we're in this financially together." Great.
Which side do you think my wife would be on a bet between you and I?
Yours, because financially, she's in this with you. She's stuck with you.
She has a real job.
Yeah, my wife doesn't care.
So when he loses the bet, who's paying the bill?
That's true right now as well, though. That doesn't matter.
So my wife could not care less about the financials. I promise you. George, what are you doing? You're just being quiet because you don't want to be on the record for being wrong even more about the game.
Dang!
You've already been.
Dang.
The flip side of this is how are things not further along if they're going to deliver in November? That is the flip side of everything positive that you could say about sorcery.
Wait, because they're not. You just said it yourself. Expect delays with Kickstarter TCGs.
Well, they've already delayed once.
You said delays. That's only one.
The new timeline is November. I still think it's doable.
Absolutely. That's 28,000 boxes printed and delivered in the next 70 days with a rule book at 0.6. I don't see how it's hard.
See, Louis, I didn't see yours coming. I saw this one coming.
This should be a walk in the park. I agree with you completely, Louis.
So here's what I've been thinking about this a lot because our conversations in private have been so much fun to have with you.
You have conversations with people? You pick up the phone?
Oh my gosh, Josh, get over
You're
it.
getting wrecked tonight. This is amazing.
Josh called me. I have like a 3-year-old on my leg, like crying while I'm walking up the stairs, and an infant in my arms. And Josh calls me, and I didn't answer, and I still have to hear about it.
Or the other night that I called you and you didn't call me back.
That's fine. I don't remember what was happening.
You were in the shower. You could have talked to me.
Oh, is that when I was sick? I was sick the other day.
You're always sick.
I've been sick a lot.
You just live your life sick?
Yeah, I've been sick a lot. Somebody was like, "Are you sure you don't have mold issues?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about that. Maybe we do."
You've had no water problems in your house. It should be a problem.
Anyway, so I've been thinking about this delay thing, right? This the rulebook, mainly focus on the rulebook, because I think you can play test for a month and then get card images in, and they already have the printer space. They can get card images in, and then their rulebook, they're not printing the rulebook. The rulebook doesn't come in a booster box. So you're not going to get a booster box and have a rulebook in it. It doesn't have to be part of the print.
But listen, if we're printing the cards and all the game mechanics and how the game works, and the rulebook's not done yet, that's not great. On the record as that's not great. That's kind of backwards.
Okay. I want to be very clear again here about my positions, because I feel like my positions have been a little bit twisted. My bad. Not by you, by Bozo.
Oh, I tried.
A lot of this is not Sorcery's fault. They did not ask to raise $4 million. They rose $4 million. It's not their fault that I think the box will be overprinted. People overordered. Here is where I think that we need to focus. If I were them, what would I do? First, they got to update more. Compare your Genesis updates to your Sorcery updates. I thought Mike had taken over Assad's body with the amount of updates I was getting on the Genesis Kickstarter. Every day, there was something that Assad ate for breakfast and what he was doing those 5 minutes for the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You don't need to go that extreme, but I do think you need to say, this is when I have printer time. This is my printer. This is what the foil looks like. This is what it looks like. But I agree with Josh. Until you figure out the rule book, none of the cards matter. If the keywords change, you need to change the cards. You don't want to have your... Here is my full advice. Delay this game until it's done.
Which is okay.
Which is fine.
That's
which
totally
is much
fine.
better than forcing it out in November
and
That's
having
fair.
a bad release.
and then changing the rule book. Like,
I agree with that.
Like, no matter what, because like you guys, nothing but love. You get one shot at this.
I agree.
If this game comes out and sucks, you're done.
I agree.
Even if it doesn't suck, one of the biggest killers of things like this is erratas. When the cards, as they're printed, that you're holding in your hand, don't function that way, and you have to have a subsequent document that you refer to while you're playing to do, that's bad. That will kill new players in the game.
You're already on a grid. You're already complicated.
Even if you're not complicated, you're definitely different. So you already have some people feeling uneasy.
Delay this game until the rule book is finalized.
100%.
Then print the cards. If that means, candidly, and I mean this, take this advice seriously. If that means you don't ship till July of next year, screw it. That's fine. I would much rather you ship an amazing game that you're proud of and is balanced and works well in July than a game that has 15 days of play testing that receives in November.
Now, that can be dangerous. That can be dangerous. You have this nucleus of 300 players that have gotten closer to your game. They're interacting with your game. They're talking fondly about it. They feel like they're part of the development process. They're bringing in more hype. And even with this release delayed, when the release happens and you have that critical mass, right? Those people that are already invested in the hobby, it has a chance to explode because it's good. Because they can say with confidence to every person they talk to that they should play this game because it's a blast, it's fun, it works perfectly. They can spread the word with confidence.
Yes. And that will not happen at Rulebook 0.6. There's problems. There's problems with 0.6. I will promise that. Take your time.
So
do it right.
I agree with that logic. I think that's fair. Like, I agree with the logic of you don't want to ship a game that is not actually done. I don't think I agree that that can't happen within the time.
75 days?
Listen, I've played Sorcery. It's already fun. Like, I played, what was it, 4 or 5 months ago? And that iteration of the game was already really fun. What I said about it was the rulebook needs cleaned up. It needs more information in it. And they have done that amply in 0.6. There's tons more, a lot of the keywords identified, a lot of that stuff. I don't think that they are that far off. There, one of the criticisms I've heard of this is I didn't realize I was backing a game that was so late in development. And I personally think that is more due to things like labeling it 0.6.
I mean, early in development, right?
Yeah, this is early in development. I think that's like that's when you label something 0.6,
that was not smart.
Your brain goes to it's only 60% done. That's where your brain goes. That doesn't mean that that's where they're at. That doesn't mean that it's really only 60% of a game. It's just the way that it looks. So I don't know. I agree with you. I want them to ship a good game. Here's why I disagree with you. I have had conversation with Eric. I have multiple email chains. I had him on the podcast, on the channel. Yeah, you weren't invited. I had multiple conversations with them about the sample cards, about all that stuff. They care so much about getting things right. All they care about is getting things right.
And that's my point.
They will not, in my opinion, they will not get something right. Like they will produce the game.
Then they can't ship this in 75 days.
Oh, that's up to you. We'll know that. We will know that. What I'm telling you is that if they can't do it in 75 days, they won't do it in 75 days.
I mean, like Louis, that's like they have to print. Was it 28,000 boxes?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't agree with you that your print run is too high. There was 6,500 backers, which means an average of 3.84 boxes per backer. That is not too high. That's less than a case per person.
Yeah, that assumes they all want to play. That assumes every backer wants to play or collect the game.
Sure.
Yeah, there's been a lot of eBay sales for people who don't seem to want to play or collect. There's not been
a lot of eBay sales. There's been a handful of eBay sales.
It's getting spicy. I'm gonna go ahead. No, you two go at it. This is why I'm here. I can't watch.
What is a lot of eBay sales?
It's at least 75 days away from shipping. So like any number is a big number right now. Like
no, gosh, tell me you've never backed a Kickstarter without telling me you never backed a Kickstarter.
I'm waiting for my metazoo Kickstarter. What are you on?
Listen. Every single Kickstarter that ever has finished, that is ever completed, comes out 2 days later. People are selling it on eBay.
I agree with that. The question is percentage. The question is what percent is going to flip this? That's the question.
I don't think that number is like 40%. I don't think that number is.
I think it's about 40%.
No,
I think it's between 30 and 40%.
Whoa! You think 40% of the people backing this game are currently trying to sell things on eBay?
I think 30 to 40% of the boxes are trying to get flipped at between now and release day.
I don't. I think the majority of boxes that you're seeing sell on
that's $1 million of boxes. That's not crazy.
I think the majority of the boxes that you're seeing sell on eBay right now are people who are getting their money back for their Kickstarter. And they will sit on the other 3 boxes. They bought 4 boxes, they sell 1, get all their money back. They can't
sit on them. They need to play with them, right? We need them to play the game.
Sure. But my point is, like, sitting on the box or opening the boxes or collecting or doing whatever.
Yeah.
Or putting in a closet. Like, and honestly, like that's definitely happening.
Oh, 100%.
You hear that for other games all the time. You still hear that from other games that Rudy has backed and whatever. Like that's the way it is.
I play with all my cards.
Bull crap.
I suspect they know that. Like I don't think anybody thought I actually played with all my cards. If you did, welcome to May the Zoo Be With You. Thank you for joining us for your first ever episode. I guess I think you're going to see a lot of flips. It's not their fault. That's not their fault.
But listen, if this thing comes out in 75 days, like Louis said, like let's say they hit George, let's just say they hit the deadline, it comes out in 75 days, and it's good, kind of a home run, right?
Listen,
kind of a home run if they make that happen.
Already good. The game is already fun.
But
George, have you played the game?
No.
No, then you don't get to talk about it. You haven't done anything with it.
Listen, Louis, if you can't talk about games that you haven't played, your content is extremely limited. Okay.
I have played every game I've ever talked about on my channel.
It's an internet meme. It's a joke. but what you just said is
Louis is sensitive tonight. Louis got sensitive all of a sudden. Sorcery brings out the crankiness in him.
As pathetic as this might be, this is my life's work.
We dumpster on my life's work every week.
Okay. Facts.
You can take a little bit.
I never make fun of your computer coding.
It's not my life's work. It's just what pays the bills.
No, like the game, like I've played the game. It is fun. Like I think you have a wrong interpretation of the scenario.
What interpretation do you think I have that is wrong?
Like I think the game is. I think the game is further along in development than you do.
That could be. That could be. I wish they would say that, but that could be.
I tell you this. I totally agree with you that more updates would be good. Totally agree with that.
I don't no. If the game were done tonight, I don't see how the only way I can see you shipping this box to this 28,000 boxes in 75 days is you put it in China.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who else has the printer space right now.
Hold them where now.
Well, unless they already have the printer space scheduled and
just hope they make it. We hope the rule book's done in time. That seems risky.
I mean, that seems probably what it is. Like that's how you would do this, right? You would make a game. That's how if you were doing a Kickstarter, you would buy your printer space and say, okay, this is what we're working for.
I am increasingly concerned with Kickstarter TCGs.
That's fair.
Like I am increasingly concerned with.
I got my Nostalgics boxes today, my 4 Nostalgics boxes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is."
Have you played Nostalgics yet?
I have not, and I've never talked about Nostalgics on the channel.
Did you interview the designer?
You have mentioned Nostalgics before.
Thank you, Brink.
I mentioned it. I haven't talked about it. I don't have regular videos about it.
I also do not have regular videos about any of these other games, just so we're clear, everybody.
I don't have regular videos about anything. So is that what we need to qualify? Because I'm in trouble.
Like, you don't. If you search Nostalgics on my channel, I don't think anything would pop up.
Do it.
I'm doing it right now.
God, please.
You added a tag to some video somewhere, and you're like, "Oh, crud! I did. I forgot about that." My channel.
How do I search?
So
this is the best content.
This is Sorcery's in that really cool and exciting window because there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of will they, won't they, right? It's like your favorite sitcom, and it's hitting kind of an apex. It's so, but you can capitalize on that hype if you release and
bingo.
Even if you delay,
yep.
But you release something that's so good, and there's a hype train involved. It'll be incredible.
I've never done a video on Nostalgic, so
here's what Sorcery gets, and this is the same thing I tell people about Josh's favorite game, Metazoo. The fact that we all talk about Sorcery, it is by far the number one phone call I get from people. Is about Sorcery.
Hi, Josh.
It's been good having you. Next week we'll have a new permanent guest.
I did a Sorcery.
Hold on, boo boo. The fact that the number one question I get asked about is Sorcery. Tells you there's a lot of buzz about it. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy around it, and that's the very best thing you can hope for if you're a new TCG.
I did a video on Sorcery this week and it's got more views than our podcast last week already.
That says a lot more about us than it does about Sorcery, I feel.
No, I'm saying the hype is people are excited about it.
People want, and I think people are looking for content, and I think this is
6,500 backers. That's
a lot of number of views. I was like, Jesus, that is a lot of views.
No, it's got 1,400 views.
Oh, how many did we get last week for the podcast?
Well, it's by the time the podcast actually airs.
You just lied. You just lied. I thought we were at more than that.
We're 300 away, but it will be there. We're 300 away.
Wait, so that we have 300 more views, and you said they were beating me?
I said they were about the same.
Me? Us?
Yeah,
we all carries a sucker. Pop on the back. Let's roll.
Listen, this will be by far the most interesting point of contention from this podcast. Who's right, me or you? And
let me go over this again. This is what Josh said. That is absolutely right. That is good for Sorcery.
God, that's a theme here.
That is great for Sorcery. That this is what. People will come and they will talk. They will come to this section to hear the thoughts on Sorcery. That's great for them.
I think we should start a betting pool.
We're done with the betting. You have become too degenerate for me, and I am a carny.
I have a phone number I think you should call. So I want to get this out of the way because I feel, is the metazoo transition coming?
No, yeah.
We have another whole topic.
A whole other topic.
Oh, I missed it.
The world's longest podcast.
New TCG
I don't take very good notes.
That's Nick's new TCG prices.
No, I think that's important.
We can talk about it next week.
I think we can talk about it next week. I think we can talk about it next week because I think it deserves a lot of time. I think this topic deserves a good amount of time.
I do.
That's why I added it.
Well, it's been an hour and a half. You should have brought it up.
We don't need a good amount of time right now.
You spent that whole time talking about Star Wars.
I think
you
that was
bashed
we.
George Lucas.
You did.
All right.
You went after the man himself.
What the Flork is going on?
What the Flork is going on, especially on this podcast? I think Mike released this box just for us.
No, we're stopping right here. I have been accused so much of hating metazoo because I give honest and realistic takes, and just within arm's reach, I have a ridiculous amount of metazoo.
Doesn't count. CN2
all over the place, all over the place.
CN2
no,
doesn't count.
I'm allowed to give realistic takes and expectations. I support the game. I'm there. I will not stand by this moniker.
CN2 doesn't count. Did I see a Nightfall box? That counts.
This is not. There is no second edition in anything I showed you.
Was that all?
That's the N1?
Yes.
Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. He's not showing the one.
It's covered with the wrapper.
No, go over. It's on the left of the box.
That's actually true.
It's on the left. Oh my gosh. It's the big one. It looks like this.
Should I go get my Kickstarter boxes?
Oh.
There you go. You're right. There you go.
Yeah,
Should I get my Kickstarter boxes?
No.
I have a stack of them.
My Kickstarter box is not within arm's reach.
What's your point? What's the point we're making here?
I'm not a metazoo. George has thrown this in my face that I'm a metazoo hater. I am not.
Has he done that?
Yes.
Why would you do that, George?
It's very hurtful. You know what? And frankly, I'm sick of your bullying and your meanness.
Thank you. I've been trying to say this for 2 years. He calls himself a friend.
This podcast has gone off the rails. I'm not sure this one was ever on the rails, if I'm being honest. But if we were, they're off.
All right. What the Flork? So metazoo.
It's going to be a bully. We're not going to address this.
Yeah, you're.
So there's this artist named Flork. I hope I don't offend Mike or Flork. I had never heard of him before this.
I didn't know he was an artist. I thought Flork was.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about this.
I'm not going to lie. He might not be an artist. I assumed he was. That could just be a bad assumption.
Oh my gosh. Was that one of your Scoopies?
No, that was not a Scoopy. That was a Scoopy-free statement.
Certainly.
Apparently, I only get my Scoopies from Tanner's Discord.
And other public posts.
Flork on Twitter. Yeah, he's a person.
I like that we.
Okay, I want to be very clear here. I assumed he was a person.
Yeah, like he does art. He does art.
He's an artist.
It makes him an artist.
It's 18 plus though. So
wait, what?
Not safe for work. It's 18 plus.
Wait, what?
It's not. I can't put this on the podcast.
All right, we lost Louis for the rest of the
It's
pod.
like
George.
It's like,
He's florking it up over there.
it's like
Flork kidding me.
It's like he's got 200,000 followers. Huh?
That's more than we have. Flork's coming on next week. With George Lucas.
Some of his work is.
So Flork does a more freehand style of art, I would say, and apparently some 18 plus freehand.
Very free.
According to Louis Scoopy.
Yeah.
From his public Twitter page.
The comment section will be glad to hear he does not do NFTs. It's right there in his description. No NFTs. I do not do NFTs.
So
he's not a scammer.
They had a shirt done by Flork, and it sold out instantly.
Yep.
And it looks like LGSs are going to get Flork boxes,
and they're exclusive to LGS.
Cool.
We have asked Mike to do this on this podcast before.
Yeah.
and he has done it. Big props to Mike.
I don't get the Flork thing. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there.
Okay, Mike, I'll take his allocation.
No, like I asked for one.
No. We all heard what you said. We all get heard what you said. It's fine. You can bash Flork. He's my favorite artist.
Let me just say, art is subjective. Is that the right phrase?
Subjective, yes.
The art style of Flork is not what I would be excited about.
I liked it. I like those shirts.
That makes sense to me.
That follows.
That follows.
If they had Hawaiian shirts, I'd like it even more.
I ordered a couple of each size, but it's not my style.
I like the shirts.
As an LGS, I did to sell.
As a partner.
As a partner, yeah. It's not my style. I get it though. I do get it.
Mike is nailing the partner thing.
Yeah.
Mike is nailing the partner thing. These are LGS exclusive boxes. He's doing the kind of things that we've asked him to do to support the LGS and allow us to make some money on metazoo.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, listen, I love metazoo. I'm not a charity. I'm not going to carry if I'm going to lose money.
I think the thing I would like to see better with the partner is a little bit more timelines to understand when things are going to be available to partners, when they're going to come out, and what is going to be available. Right now, it seems like is everything going to be available? Because I think that's an important thing. But I think some communication on the timelines.
I'm glad metazoo figured out that allocations exist. Before that, it was just order whatever you want from all these distributors, and nobody ever got allocated. So metazoo's the first one to ever allocate.
It's a little different when you have a distributor and a rep that you can have a conversation with.
You can email them.
No, that's fair. I could email him.
So as far as from a TCG standpoint, it looks like Flork is creating. There was Flork T-shirts, and now there's a Flork box.
Can I just say, before we get into this, Flork is such an amazing name.
It really is. I'm really enjoying saying it on repeat.
Artist name. Like Flork is like a great name.
It's like Banksy, right? Like it's the same.
You heard it here first. Flork's the next Banksy. Right here.
NFTs.
May the zoo be with you.
That was Louis' real scoopy.
You know what made me realize is I own a MetaZoo NFT as well.
Oh, don't tell the comments. You just lost a bunch of subscribers.
Louis just lost subscribers. Thanks,
Josh. I didn't say that.
No, Josh, why do I own the MetaZoo NFT, Louis?
Apparently you hate the world, and you hate your subscribers, and you hate the comment section. You are a bad.
We hate you.
The saltiest man alive when it comes to NFTs.
We can't talk about NFTs. I lose too many subscribers. I just got over 7,000 again for the second time.
And if you want to see a celebration video, you can visit us here next Friday where we celebrate hitting 7,000.
We're not double. We can celebrate a third time. If we go back under because of your stupid NFT talk, we can come back on the other side.
I have a question for you. Did what video put you over 7,000 this time? Was it the sorcery video, or was it another video that came out right before that?
I don't know. What
it was us. It was us. It was May the Zoo be with you.
There you go.
Boom!
Yeah. Well, now May the Zoo be with you is going negative.
We're the reason you're back under. But we'll next week we'll make it up. We'll go back up.
Josh giveth, Josh taketh away. That's what we're learning.
Nobody owns more NFTs than me.
Those are facts.
But we can't talk about them.
The Flork product. It's a box of packs, a box of cards or something that goes to the. I want to have a full understanding.
I think he hasn't said yet. I think it's a box of packs.
There is a promo card.
Right.
I think that's it. It's just a shirt and a promo card.
I don't think so. That's not. Wait. Hold on, Boo Boo. You're talking about a different product. I believe there's going to be Flork boxes, and that's a Flork shirt. I'm
looking at the partner MetaZoo X Flork tees.
Right. I think that's a different product than was announced in the main Discord.
Gotcha. I see.
I don't know.
It's in the main Discord. That's a scoopy. Continue.
Can I be excited or not excited about this project? I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is.
So this is typical MetaZoo to me. This is typical MetaZoo, and this is what we said. This is what we said a year ago that MetaZoo is going to become. You don't have to like all the MetaZoo. This is not Magic the Gathering.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I don't know if I like it or don't like it because I don't even know what it is. I know there's a Flork artist.
I like the Flork art. Do you like the Flork art?
I don't. I
not
won't.
you, boo-boo.
It's definitely not my style.
Yeah.
Really? I like it.
I went to the Twitter. That tracks.
Like, listen. Like, I think this is what we've talked about with metazoo. Sometimes it's just not for you, and that's okay. And you can still be a big fan of metazoo and be like, nope, this is not for me. Like,
No,
you can do that.
You have to be all in or all out. You pick a
You
side.
are not hearing me. I'm telling you, I can't be. This can't be for me, or it can't be against me, because I don't know what it is.
It's a
Flork
card.
But how is that a Flork box?
That's not the Flork box, you donkey.
What are you saying?
How is that? What is a Flork box?
It's a T-shirt and a promo card. It's a box with a T-shirt and a promo card.
It's a box with a T-shirt. Because George is disagreeing with you. That's why I'm trying to get to the bottom of this.
All right, hold on. We're doing some Scoopies live here. There's a live Scoopy section.
George
My internet's a little bit slow. Hold on.
Like the most uninformed person in the world on this podcast this week.
I can hear George's dial-up kicking in right now.
Seance official release date October 21st. That's exciting. Here we go. Yes, the rumors are true. Make sure you reach out to your LGS or some of our fantastic partners. Shout out to secure your MetaZoo X Flork LGS boxes.
Yes.
That's not a T-shirt, boo-boo. It's an LGS exclusive box.
Okay.
But okay, so this is
picture on the website for the LGS exclusive partner box has 4 effing T-shirts on it. So I don't know what you want from me.
That's not good for me. That's not good for me. That's not good for me.
But there also are 2 blacked out question mark boxes.
There we go.
They're also in the form of T-shirts. So you're still.
Not good for me. Not good for me. This has not been a great MetaZoo minute. I apologize, Mike. This has not been a great MetaZoo minute.
Listen, some clarity there would be nice. And yes, Louis, it looks like you were able to get to the bottom of it. And maybe the fact that it's unclear is not the fault of the post, but maybe the Scoopy that we got leading up to this. So listen, it's cool. It's a T-shirt, and it's going to be a T-shirt sold specifically at your LGS. I guess that's neat. It comes with a promo card, so that's cool too.
Well, they also sold these direct on the website. There was 1,000 of them.
I think this is
but a limited run.
I think it's an LGS exclusive shirt though too. LGS exclusive product.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I love. Okay. I love.
I think that's
fine. It's fine.
You guys are so hard to please. He asked him to do LGS exclusive products. He does LGS exclusive products.
This is a TCG. This is a TCG podcast. It's a T-shirt. It's cool.
Last week it was a Hawaiian shirt podcast that also covers Lorcana. Okay.
That's fair. Listen, and from what I can tell, these Flork shirts aren't in Hawaiian print. So
that's on Mike. I agree with that. They should be Hawaiian shirts.
I think that this is MetaZoo is becoming more and more a brand and less and less a
100%.
TCG. And honestly, I think I've said this since day one. MetaZoo is all about the IP, all about the brand. It's not trying to compete in the TCG space in a way like maybe they even say they are, or the way that we want them to. This is always going to be a brand. That's what it's going to be first. And the TCG was the entry ramp to it being a brand. I think that's fine.
I am fine with that. The fact that the T-shirt, if this is not about the TCG, it's about the brand, it's about the IP, which I agree with you. I think it's a great chance to be an awesome IP. I don't care that the T-shirt sold in the LGS. That does nothing for me.
Oh, you're not an LGS, so I can see why
have
you
some
want to
sympathy for us that are trying to scrape by for a buck, Josh.
I tend to like that I get something that people want and sell. It's like the new Pokemon UPCs. I like it when people
Ultimate premium collections.
It's a product that's not about a trading card game in your game store.
No, there's a promo card in it. I have people come in that I've never met before for MetaZoo at my shop. They come in and they see the Nightfall box, or they see a Mothman thing or whatever, and they want it. They go for it. I have people there is a market for this that isn't, hey, let's play the next competitive TCG. When they started doing all their competitive play stuff, what?
Josh is gonna stroke. This is Josh's last podcast.
The TCG doesn't matter. The TCG doesn't matter.
That's TCG not what he's saying, boo boo.
The TCG is the on ramp to the brand. It's what gives the brand customers. If you just randomly said, "Hey, metazoo, this new brand that's out," and it just popped up on the internet, there's no hook there.
metazoo ain't supreme.
Is it fair to say that the on-ramp needs construction and it needs repair then? Because the TCG, if the TCG is the on-ramp to the brand, the TCG is in a little bit of a tough spot. And so it's safe to say that needs works. The boxes are not selling for a good value. The cards in the boxes aren't really worth anything. People aren't playing the game in as big of numbers as we'd like to see. Like
I have no clue what the number of people playing metazoo is. I have no clue what that is.
I guess I would say if you speculation on my part.
If you are Mike, I would say right now you're looking at the game, you're like, hey, things are in a pretty good spot. I think like he's selling lots of boxes, he's selling lots of things. I agree from the LGS perspective, like UFO kind of tanked and isn't super great. Like it's not easy to sell boxes at the price that we want to sell boxes at. Like I think that's a fair statement. They're doing the print run things. They're changing that with Seance. Maybe that will fix it. But I would say
listen, I agree with I don't like saying this. I agree largely with Louis. The Seance print run is going to tell us everything.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it won't tell us anything, but it's a step. It's a good step in a good direction.
No, I think it tells us a lot. If Seance tanks, that's a problem.
It's a problem if Seance tanks. It's a problem for LGSs who carry metazoo. My point is, it's not a problem for metazoo.
I agree with that. That I agree with as well. But I think it is a problem for the LGS if Seance tanks. You cut the print run in half. That's a big cut. It was the right cut. It was a good decision. But like it's a big cut. And like I think metazoo should be able to sell 50,000 boxes at a reasonable price. I did not say this about 100,000 boxes. I was on the record for this saying 100,000 boxes is too many.
Were you?
100%. 100%.
I don't have any of that data. I'm not going to argue.
That follows. 50,000 I think is a good number.
I think like if you look at revenue, I would venture to say that metazoo's revenue is by far the largest revenue of any of the TCGs other than Magic and Pokemon that we talk about.
That we talk about? Yeah. Like nobody else is close.
Yeah, like I don't think the amount of products they sell and like that inherently is a success. Like I think metazoo has already transcended the line between TCG and brand. Pokemon did the same thing. Pokemon TCG is a very, very small part of the Pokemon brand. Very, very tiny, small part of the Pokemon brand.
And it's probably the least important part.
Yeah, they have already transcended that line, and now metazoo is a brand. So if you want a trading card game that you can get behind and be excited about, and that's going to be your new trading card game, I don't know that metazoo is the right thing for you. If you like a brand and you like t-shirts and you like collecting cards and you like the brand element of it, then I think metazoo is a perfect spot for you.
And I think there's chances for the regular boxes that I said might need work and things that aren't great in the past to really grow because of that brand explosion. It's not like doom and gloom in my mind forever, but right now, today, in my opinion, they don't necessarily sit in the best space. But when the video game hits and the t-shirts are a hit and the movie and the TV show, now all of a sudden those boxes become something people feel and experience this ridiculous joy opening, like the Legends cards we talked about, right? Because they're opening and pulling these cards and these things that are tied to other aspects of their life, to their favorite movie, to a video game. So they have that is open and on the table as far as I'm concerned. But calling the TCG an abstract success at this very moment is it's tough for me.
How would you like? Let me ask you this: like they have sold through their boxes, from our understanding. Stores haven't, distributors haven't. I bet you they have. I bet you metazoo has. I bet you distributor has it. And you think metazoo still has boxes?
No, there's like tell me you don't read the partner announcements without telling me you don't read the partner.
I don't read the partner announcements.
They literally said there's going to be a option restock for partners, that they were not going to sell all their boxes.
But I thought that was going through one of their distributors.
There's going to be another wave of boxes. For
don't know if I'm allowed to. I don't. We'll leave that aside right now. I don't think you're accurate, but that's okay.
Okay.
I think they have a distributor that they've partnered with to do that.
Okay.
It's a golden rainbow.
Okay. Great. You're saying that Golden picked up the rest of the 100 boxes.
Whoa. I didn't say that.
You're implying that Golden picked up the rest of the boxes of the UFO print run.
I'm saying if you order UFO boxes, my gut is you get them in the golden box.
Okay. I don't personally see a difference in that. Isn't Golden's CEO the CFO of MetaZoo? Aren't they like
COO?
kind of all...
Tell me you've never read a corporate statement without telling me you've read a corporate statement.
Like they're all the same. That's all the same. My point to Josh's point is that MetaZoo's success from MetaZoo's perspective, it does not connect with the number of boxes sold. Like if MetaZoo prints 100,000 boxes and 50,000 of them sell and they sit on 50,000 boxes, like they still are highly profitable because of the vast number of other products that are successful.
Now I'm on Josh's team. Thank you, Louis. I felt out of place before. Now I'm back.
This is the twist ending at the end of the episode that even I didn't see coming. What? Hello?
I think MetaZoo needs to sell through their boxes to be considered a success.
From whose perspective? I'm talking from MetaZoo's perspective. I agree that from the LGS perspective that has to happen.
I am also talking about from the MetaZoo perspective.
Okay.
I think if distributors dump it and stores dump it, that's still okay from MetaZoo's perspective. I don't think they like that. Like Mike has a blacklist longer than my arm, but I think in the games have to sell product, and one of their products is boxes. They have to sell through the boxes.
But and again, I want to go on the record. I think you're correct, Louis. And my opinion is that you're correct. Is that MetaZoo as a company is a success. I think
is unquestionably.
Yes.
They probably have 10 times the revenue of the next biggest game we talk about.
So I think part of that's on me. I was locked in as I am as kind of the person and content that I make and the human that I am. I'm locked into the trading card game, right? And the box and the cards and the play experience and the opening, all that comes with the trading card game. I think the company is a success, but when you say sell through the boxes, who do they have to sell through the boxes to? If they sell all of their boxes to a distributor, it sits at that distributor, or those distributors then move all those boxes to stores and they sit on shelves, and maybe those stores now have this money tied up. Is that a success? Because MetaZoo recouped their full cost, right? So from a company's perspective, that's a success. If all the boxes don't hit the street, though,
I think the boxes need to hit the street.
I think. From a company perspective, that's a success. From Mike's perspective, I don't think that's his version of success.
I think that's true.
Like I don't think Mike likes that UFO. I don't think Mike likes that UFO boxes are $80,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, like I don't think he likes that. I don't think he likes that wilderness boxes are on websites or whatever for 65. Like he doesn't like that. Like that, and I get that. There's a pride thing there, and that's good. I still think from a MetaZoo business perspective, the goal is not to be.
Well, we've always said this, right?
Yeah.
MetaZoo either has to be huge or dead.
Right.
Like MetaZoo will be one of those two things in 5 years.
Yeah.
MetaZoo will be huge or dead. It will not be small. There is no middle path for MetaZoo.
And honestly, this is where I think some of it
all comes down to the arcade game. I think we can all agree on that.
I think this is where a lot of the MetaZoo drama happens, because as a LGS, there might be things that I would do differently as a company or thinking from just an LGS perspective.
Right.
But, and then there's a lot of that drama that happens with people who are saying that things should be different or whatever. But from Mike's perspective, he's building something that's different than what I would say a card game company, what I would want a card game company to do. I don't have the
picture. Yeah.
I don't have the, I don't think that big. Like, I don't think
that makes sense to me.
Like I don't like I don't want if I started a company, I wouldn't want to be the next Supreme. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, no, you're right. I don't see that big picture. I don't think that big as well.
I'm going to buy Disney.
You're going to buy Disney?
That's my goal for the fun park. All right. Last question. Last part of the MetaZoo minute. Last ping of the evening, I promise, says Mike. Let's say we had one of the top agencies of the world give us a blank check and we could do any collaboration partnership we wanted. Who would you like to see MetaZoo collab with? Scoopy.
Ooh.
Scoopy. Discord.
It was on Discord. All right, Josh, who should they collab with?
Oh, I need to figure this out. Can you come back to me?
This is live. You know that, right?
This is hard. Yes. The first thing that comes to mind, the more I think about it, the worse of an answer it feels, but I'll say it anyway because we're live, is like a Minecraft type feel.
That's not bad.
It's a lot of
terrible. That's terrible. That's awful.
All right, well.
George, what's your
I went
genius
first
answer?
I went first.
Kanye West.
Oh my
God! What?
That's what we need. It's Steve Aoki and Kanye West. A mashup.
I feel so much better about my Minecraft take now.
Yeah, Minecraft is a way better. And honestly, I knew your take was going to be Kanye West. I knew it.
Yeah, of course.
I thought it was.
You didn't know that? Welcome to MetaZoo with you. I hope you enjoyed your first episode.
Yeah.
All right, Louie. Let's go, big boy.
Who do you think? Take a wild guess.
It'll be Logan Paul.
KitchenTable TCG.
Logan Paul. If you're gonna get somebody, I don't know. It would result in. I think the problem is it would result in hype and then a deterioration of that hype pretty radically.
Where have I seen that before? Who wants a first edition Charizard?
But I think the market's right. It's got the brand element of like clothing and style and branding, and then
I think Supreme's actually a good answer. I think Supreme's actually a really good answer. A MetaZoo Supreme shirt would be Fuego, and it would do very well for them.
Yeah,
a MetaZoo Supreme Hawaiian shirt.
Do you know how outrageously expensive that would be? And do you know how many I would buy?
With Harvard on it.
I will ask you the same question that I started this with. Do they come in talls? Get me a tall.
You have to gain weight, fatty. Okay, me and Louie are both fat. You got to join the train.
I am fat. I'm just fat and tall. I need a tall.
That's your fault. Shrink and gain weight.
My mom's.
Okay. That's it. This has been 2 hour podcast.
I don't think we can see. I don't think we can see Disney because they have Lorcana. That'd be the other one I would think of.
I mean, if Disney's an option, that seems like the best partnership.
Yeah, it's just if anyone could partner with anyone,
maybe DreamWorks. I bet you DreamWorks would do it.
It depends. It's so hard with MetaZoo because what is the partnership? This is what we're talking about. If it's just TCG, DreamWorks doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It's got to be the TV show.
If we're talking about who's going to make the movie,
oh my God, it's a TV show. It's a Dora the Explorer style TV show with Logan Paul as the main character. That's it. That's it.
Mike,
I'm done.
No.
Mike, do it. Do it, Mike.
Don't do it. I can't handle it. Call Kanye. He's looking for a new home, and he just did him dirty.
All right. Well, everyone, that was the podcast.
An episode.
I hope you enjoyed it more than
last week was great.
This is good. This is fine.
This week was fantastic.
A little long, but I hope you guys have yourself a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Remember to be kind to the people around you.
He tries to remember every week. He tries so hard, and he screws up every single week.
I've gotten it right.
He hasn't screwed up yet. He hasn't screwed up yet.
May the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
And also with you.